Hello there, Neil here. I want to introduce you to our Creative Workstation. This new tool puts powerful hardware and software at your fingertips. This video training was created using the very same tools that will be at your disposal when you reserve time at the Creative Workstation. The purpose of this video is to make sure you know how to reach your EdTechs for support, how to reserve time with the Workstation, and to help you identify some of the components. At the end of this, you will have the opportunity to earn a special digital badge that you can use as an artifact that demonstrates your completion of this training. Of course, that part is optional. Thank you for watching this, and I look forward to seeing what you create.
All right, everybody, let's get this training started. This is your introduction to the pilot program for the Creative Workstations here at Long Branch Public Schools. You can see our little graphic there includes things like HP, Canon, Adobe, and that other one that you may not recognize is Audio Technica. That's the microphone I'm talking into right now. So let me go ahead and maybe make this go away here. All right, I made this presentation as a side note, by the way, with Canva, a great tool that maybe you can use on this Creative Workstation. You don't need the Creative Workstation to use Canva, though. Definitely reach out to your EdTechs, and that is going to be where we actually start off with our agenda here. Our agenda, let's talk about the things we're going to do in this training. First thing we want you to be comfortable with is knowing how to reach out to your EdTechs for support. There's multiple ways in which you can reach us. We want you to find the one that works best for you. The next thing we want to cover is making sure that you know how to reserve a time slot with this Creative Workstation. It's not hard. We built it, hopefully, a system that is as simple to use as making a calendar appointment. And the last thing that we have to cover is just some parts, some components, the hardware and software pieces that we just want you to be aware of. And then there's the optional piece here where if you'd like, you can earn a badge. It's something you can actually store in an online digital backpack. It's more than just a picture. It's in a way kind of like these things you may have heard of, NFTs recently, right? There is a digital signature to it that contains information about your achievement. So it's up to you if you want to do that. It's kind of fun, and we'll get going here. Oh, by the way, there's a little quote here. Just something I've been, reading about is about positive phrases and whatnot. It's right. You can do hard things. Remember, if this seems hard to you, if this all of a sudden while you're going through this training, you're like, oh my gosh, I could never do this. Just remember, you can do hard things. You do it every day. All right. So your EdTechs, that's Lois down there and me with probably an underexposed image. The exposure is very important when you're working with photography. Some of you out there definitely know that. But anyway, I used what we had. We are your EdTechs, and how can you reach us, right? We're here for you for many things, including this workstation. But you can reach us at our emails if you prefer to email. If you prefer, you can also go to our new website that we've recently released. It's edtechwave.com/contact. There's a little form that you can fill out, and you can pick the reason that you're contacting us. And it makes us a nice little card in Trello, and we get to track and keep, make sure that we reach out to you, etc. It reminds us. It's great. It's my preferred way. If I had to pick a way that I would prefer for you to reach out to us, it would be that web way there, that contact form. But also, feel free to call us. My extension is 42024, and Lois is 42029. So you have three ways there. Of course, you can always, if you're at the middle school or driving by or whatever, feel free to knock on our doors. We're often there. All right. So I missed a room, forgive me, but here on screen you can see that we have 3 pilot locations, and one of them is depicted in this image here at GLC. That is the room that I don't have listed on that little green sort of pill-shaped thing. All right, that is your GLC workstation is located in room 114. At the middle school, it is located in the second floor, the media center, room 2002. At the historic high school, forgive me because we kind of hemmed and hawed, it's either 227 or 225. I took a picture of the plaque for room 227. I sure hope that that's it. If it's not, it's right at the end of the hallway there in that small room at the end of the hallway. All right. So that is where your Creative Workstation is located. We might come back to this image so I can point out some of the components, but let's move on. So how do you book time, reserve time, block out a chunk of time with this Creative Workstation? So on screen, you can see a little animated GIF, however you like to say it. All you have to do is go to your Google Calendar, drag out a block of time. You can see that it says it right here. You name the event, whatever you want to call it, like Neil's time with the workstation, all right, or Mr. Smith's time with the workstation. And then when you've given it a title, you're going to come down here, and right over here it says add rooms. When you click the word rooms, it's going to give you another pop-up, and you can actually see that there's the GLC location, there's a middle school location. It's going to offer you 2 middle school locations. Only one of them is set up right now, and that's room 2002. So we are working on getting the historic high school location set up in there as well. But once you do that and you finalize your appointment, that is yours to use, and no one else can book that time slot. So if you need help there, of course, with using Google Calendar, if that's new to you, if you don't use Google Calendar, definitely reach out to your ed techs. We'd love to help you with all of these things. So let's move on here, and we can see that what is a Creative Workstation? What are the parts of it, the hardware and the software? And we can see that on the left-hand side, we have someone here who is kind of talking to a microphone, kind of just like I am. And we've got an HP computer that I'm looking at. You can't see it right now, but it is a very powerful SSD, nice and fast, got a video card, etc. So it is definitely the system you want to be using when you're using the powerful software. Attached to it, we have a podcaster kit here. You don't have to just podcast, but if you wanted to, you have the radio studio here for you. There's a Canon digital camera. There's a teleprompter. Yes, that's right. You can look at the screen and have the words scrolling. You can get a teleprompter app for your mobile device. And oftentimes you can even upgrade them for free if you just go through the steps that they give you over a few days. Definitely reach out to us for that one, how to get that upgraded teleprompter app for free. There's a ring light too. For those of you that ever see those YouTube videos with the people putting on their makeups and etc., they oftentimes use these ring lights, so you have that there as well. So some of the software available to you, if you've ever heard of Adobe or Photoshop or Premiere and Illustrator, that is one of the big things here that you, and here again, I left this, that's not supposed to say that. Photoshop, Illustrator, you have the Adobe Creative Cloud software at your disposal. So all that stuff, that includes way more than just these 3 apps. Want help with that? You know who to reach out to, right? So this Creative Workstation is decked out for you. All right. So the last thing I wanted to cover before we wrap this up and talk about how you earn yourself a badge is why might you use a Creative Workstation, right? And you have to think about what it is that you're trying to work on with your students, right? And forgive me, I'm just sharing something that I've recently been studying myself as well. And that's self-determination theory. That's how do we build intrinsic motivation in our students, right? And we want staff, we want students, we want everyone to be intrinsically motivated, right? And when we're trying to build these skills with our students, one of the things that's extremely important and you work on all the time is competence, right? Giving your students the skills that they need for the success, those foundational skills. But one of the things you might be able to do here with this Creative Workstation is help you with this middle one, relatedness, connect with your students. Whether that's because you're creating audio or visual content that helps them connect with you, right? That's something that's very powerful. And the last thing is you might start to take some of these things, whether it's, the kids can't come in and use the Creative Workstation computer itself, but you can use these creative concepts, right? Allowing them to use tools like Canva or Creative Cloud Express, etc. You can do these kind of things to help give them some control over their own journey as well. So there's a lot that you can do with this Creative Workstation. I hope you found this interesting. If you'd like to take a little bit of a quiz and prove that you've done this, then what we're going to do here is show you this here. So you can't click this video, right? But nearby this video, you will find a link for you to click that will take you to this form. It is a Google form, and when you fill it out, it's a little quiz. You answer the questions, and what I'll do, it'll notify me that you've done it. And after a few days, I should be able to get a few of you all group earning that badge. So I have to batch distribute these badges. So just don't expect it to be one of those things you get it right away. That's all. All right. So that concludes our training for the introduction to your Creative Workstation. I do thank you so much for joining us. Please reach out at any time. Lois and I are very happy to hear from you. All right. Take care.